projector. Output projector. There we go. All right. Well, if it'll load, that'd be great. Don't know what's going on. Anyway, so hello and welcome to SunnyRedemption Sailing, your bi-weekly voyage for BS Free Gaming News. And today I'm gonna start the Indiana Jones and the Order of Giants. I literally just loaded in and have to go find a garden in the Vatican, I think, to talk to somebody. Let's see. Output projector. There we go. No? Okay, I guess I can just play it through this window, but it's like really annoying. Let me think. Okay, where do I go? Hang on. Yeah, that's the problem with having to have such a tiny window. Projector, output projector, please work. I would really like you to. I don't know why Streamlabs just is annoying sometimes for no reason. Okay, there we go. That's what I wanted. All right, let's see here. Oh, that is laggy shit. Hopefully it'll be better on actual stream. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, people. Let's see. Match output FPS. Yeah, I don't know. It's supposed to be 60. So let's see. Yeah, it might be just that there are 3 of them running at the same time on my poor laptop that is very much on its last legs. Anyway, I'm gonna try and finally actually play this game a little bit. Unless the performance is just that bad on Xbox right now for some reason, that would make no sense. But let's go and hopefully be able to talk to these to this priest without being spotted by the fascists. Oh right, it's yeah. When you reload, you gotta do that. You gotta have guards still. Oh man, I am so rusty at this game. I'm really hoping I don't get spotted. Yeah, like, this should probably be okay. Oh, nope. You didn't see anything. Pretty please, that would be great. Okay, no. You didn't see anything. You did not see anything. Okay, well, let's see. Alrighty. Alright, time to talk to this dude. Finally, and start the Order of Giants, which will take us
non può dirsi rubare se ciò che prendi è già tuo di diritto.
Different area of Rome.
What can I do for you, Father?
Well, what do you know about the legend of the nameless
like the
Crusader?
Colosseum and stuff? That's gonna be so cool.
Fierce warrior. Fought in the siege of Antioch, 1097 AD. Very tall, like a giant. They say he never removed his helmet. Why do you ask?
I am a conservator. When I was working in a casino over there, I discovered a hidden text in a mural. Can you believe it? It said that Il Papa... Shh, allora, Pio. Pope Paul IV had an item of this crusader in his possession, his helmet. And listen to this. The Pope kept this helmet in a secret chamber underneath the casino.
Sorry.
But the black shirts have locked down the casino. All I want is confirmation that the secret chamber is real. I have to know if this is all true.
I feel like you could have done that any number of years before
me out before
all
I
of
could
this
find
crap.
the entrance.
Say, how would I get
but,
down there?
You know,
Hypothetically speaking, of
you
course.
always have
There is a key to the casino in
dreams
my
until
office.
fascism creeps
My
in.
bird will open a window for you.
Of course it will,
Okay,
because
sure.
Indiana
I'm
Jones.
sorry, what was your name?
Orlando Ricci. And this here is Pio.
Well then.
I
I'll be
hope
back
this
if I
parrot
find
doesn't
anything.
follow me the entire time. I imagine not.
That would make me very happy, but don't disturb the sight. I'm being forced out of the Vatican, so we have to meet elsewhere. Come to Palazzo Ricci, my house, just across the Tiber.
Palazzo Ricci, huh? Well, I'll tell you what. If I see the helmet, I'll leave it exactly as I found it. Sound good?
Grazie, my friend. If you find
Yeah,
anything,
somehow I doubt that
know.
that will be the
D'accordo?
case.
Vai, Pio.
Because Indiana Jones' whole deal is taking
Bird's really gonna
things
open
from
the window.
archaeological
Yes,
sites.
Pio's very clever.
Okay, there has to be some sort of, something going on with the video. Because I do not know why, but it is not 60 FPS. Let me just get rid of that. And all the film grain too. I never liked that stuff anyway. Image sharpening is fine. Nope.
This disguise won't fool that captain.
Okay. Also, I need to remember literally anything else about how to play this game. Hang on. No, that's fruit for stamina, if I remember correctly. Okay, so kind of bandage up. And change my disguise. How do I do that again? Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Now I can get past him. I mean, I'm pretty much sure that this is going to be more of the same. I loved Indiana Jones and the Great Circle's main game. There were definitely some frustrating bits with it. And so I'm expecting pretty much the same with that. That I'm going to love it overall, but have some problems. Let's see. Time to figure out how I can... No. You didn't see anything weird. Okay, I was able to sneak past those dudes. And, yeah, oh, no, wait, hey. Okay, fine. You're gonna get punched a lot. Oh, not you again! Oh, thank God. I was able to make the dog go away. I hated that shit in the main game. Oops. Well, I just need to get over here and RB up.
That bird's really gonna do it.
And climb up the window without anybody suspecting. Because video games. Anyway. It's also possible that it might just be heavy processing on my computer to handle the video and the audio and stuff like that, which, you know, I've been thinking, and I think that maybe, honestly, if I can get a good price for my Series X and Mac Mini and Surface laptop it would be so nice to have an Xbox PC hybrid, now that I'm thinking about it, with a full PC mode and stuff, if it works out. I don't think I'm going to get it at launch, the new console, but it certainly will be interesting to see how that will work out. So the window that this bird is opening, where is it exactly? Oh, okay. Oh, right. That's how you do that. Without a wall. I'm slowly remembering how to play this game. It can be definitely very clunky at times. But for a game that has tackled a character not really done in third-person action-adventure games for a very long time, or first-person for that matter.
You seem to know
good.
your Roman history, Pio. Now, where is that key?
Okay, do not know what you have done to provoke Ventura, but word is that he is sending his black shirt goons after you. Oh boy, time to collect that.
Stepped on Ventura's toes, huh?
Well, the nice thing about it being a self-contained area, but also connected to the Vatican City area, is that I can go back and forth. Instead of like, oh, you're starting a new game of everything. That's sort of what I thought would happen, is like, oh, you know, this is just another quest inside the main existing area. But no, the expanded area of Rome is going to be awesome. And time to get the key.
She's really onto something. This must be it.
Il Papa se la passa meglio del Duce, eh?
Abbassa la luce.
Oh. Well, just very normal fascist calisthenics to try and climb over bushes without being spotted. Whoa. I was just squatting. I was just doing my daily Duce squats in Il Duce, if you know what I mean. Okay. Let's get out of here, please. Oh. Open window. Nice. Alright. Still got it. I never really know why you have to do 3 steps just to unlock a door. But this is just how it is. Oh hey, rare achievement.
Let's find this secret study.
Nice.
Reggie's playing a
How
dangerous
dare
game.
you threaten a parrot like that? Well, that's why Indiana Jones is helping him. Sanctus Sedes, Seed of the Faith. In remembrance of the Crusade? Yeah, well, Constantinopolis, which, the Fourth Crusade decided to turn on fellow Christians and sack that instead of going to Egypt, which I think was the plan to try and get, Jerusalem. Hierosolima. Oh, that's probably a very, very 16th century spelling of that. Alright. Revolver bullets. Cause, like, okay, part of the problem that I had with, RoboCop Rogue City Unfinished Business is that I had to do my, skill tree over again. That's just a small detraction from the benefit of it being an expand-alone. It would have been nice to have like a save import or something like that. Okay, so I still have something to search in here. Except that I think my camera is blocking my objective markers, so... well. Might want to go in and fix that quickly. Yeah, let's see. Whoop, that's not what I want. Okay, well... see, that tells me, that I had to pull out my camera. Okay, there we go. Yep, I remembered that correctly. Huzzah!
Wow.
I still have
Impressive.
all those skill points.
What does that inscription say?
But how do I get to them again? Oh, books. Except now I block books too. There's no perfect way to have a live streaming camera overlay without blocking some information. Sorry about that. I mean, I feel like I've upgraded all the books that I can for now. Oh. So I'll just keep going. Anyway. It still wants me to search for stuff around here. That guy looks important, but...
The Pope. Maybe this guy was also looking into giants.
Okay, so there's something over here that I have to take a picture of, probably. Or on the desk. Right? I mean, if I leave, it's just going to tell me to go back, so... indeed. Oh, I can turn up my brightness now because I have my laptop plugged in. Anyway, I mean, I could be very stumped on this first puzzle because I'm not very good at puzzles. But I mean, like, it still feels really good. Still feels like the Indiana Jones game of my dreams. So, is it worth $30 if you already bought the base game or Game Pass? I mean, a lot of people who bought the premium edition upgrades were wanting this and the early access and the Temple of Doom outfit, so it depends on your situation for sure. I really had wanted to start this stream earlier, but ran into technical difficulties, so had wanted to do like a good hour preview. Maybe I'll keep streaming this after I'm finished with the Sea of Thieves portion, where I'm talking about gaming news with my friend Kevin. I am really trying here, game, but I am not getting it. Like, at all. Sometimes the photos can get really annoying unless you're very precise with the framing there. Doesn't look important. Nothing on here, nothing on that guy's hands. Nope. Oh, you have got to be kidding me.
Holy Expeditions. Mentions the nameless crusader. And the Antiochene secret will remain in its sacred care.
Okay.
Secret of Antioch. Huh.
Anytime I think of Secret of, I think of Secret of Nim, even though I haven't watched that movie in forever. I really need to see it again. It's just such an amazing classic animated movie. But anyway, no, it still wants me to be in this stupid room for some reason. There's nothing else that I can find, though, so... I mean, obviously the secret chamber has to be in here. Probably a bookshelf sort of thing, right? That would make sense. Grr. I do not know. This is very strange. Okay, so those scratches were from the camera in-game. Because there are also scratches on my laptop, and I was very worried that there were others. I got this laptop in 2021. And I'm only using it for streaming because I have tried, but everything related to this, it just does not... everything related to Xbox audio just does not work nicely with my Mac. Is there another place? Oh! Oh, interesting. No. Huh. Let's see. I mean, I don't claim to be a walkthrough player. That's for sure. Windows update. Uh-oh. I gotta. No, I don't want it to restart in 8 minutes. Schedule restart. Yeah, I'm gonna schedule that for 4:30 in the morning. Microsoft! Okay, anyway. Let's continue.
Curious.
Yeah, curious why I just decided to do that. Again, some of this button and then that button and then that button can be a little bit to remember. Let's see. I feel like this has to be related to these candles somehow. Because those are the only things I can pick up from this room, and I can't seem to take a picture of anything else, so... Is there Oh. Well, I overthought that a lot.
There we go. Pope and a giant. Who left you here?
Okay, so maybe I need to take the candles off and put the figures on? Okay, okay, so... Oh, wait, no. That's the Crusader figurine, wait. Why? No. Can I drop this stupid fucking candle? Thank you. The Crusader figure probably has to go over here, right? What? Oh, no, wait.
You should be here.
Oh, it's a map puzzle.
Antioch,
Got it.
where they sent the giant.
And the Pope can be here.
Pope's right at home here.
I really thought there was something with those candles, but hey, I solved it! Yay.
I bet this leads to the Pope's secret chamber.
Now is probably a good time to pick up a candle. Which is still has its flame on the ground. I mean, I also have my lighter thingy, but I'm like, whatever, you know. It's a cool atmospheric thing to have a candle like that as you explore the catacombs of Rome. I'm so excited. Uh-oh. There's not anything here, right? You gotta always keep a sharp eye out for any photo opportunities. But I think it just wants me to go down here. And then, yes, okay, cool. Well, at least it's not snakes.
Huh. Guess this is it.
Guess this is it.
What do we got here?
Something tells me this Crusader helmet's gonna break. And or be an important part of the plot very soon in other ways. Yep, there we go.
Parchment. Whether the secret order of... You were deposed as one of the Crusaders. Enter the city of Antioch, find the sacred relic. Bring it back to the
I feel
Holy
like this
See.
might hit slightly harder
Defend the
if
secret.
you haven't played the entire game, because it seems like you can play this part very early on in Vatican City, is my guess, and then yeah.
It's simple again.
Maybe I'll do a... Oh, and it broke. Yep, that's what I thought.
Oops.
Maybe it'll be prudent to go back and do like a new game with everything together at some point down the line. Theodorus's confession. He ordered me to forge a gladiatorial helmet unlike any other, in the Mermilla fashion, but bearing the vicious and ferocious bull. With giant horns, a gaping mouth, but most notable of all features, it was to be enormous, larger than any man could comfortably wear. Okay, well, I'm starting to see the Nero angle that was also mentioned. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay. Anyway, the Emperor's instructions were specific. Certain inscriptions to be etched, sworn to secrecy under penalty of death, blah, 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 and collect.
From a Greek blacksmith who forged a giant bull helmet for a gladiator.
Why would the Pope keep this here?
Looks like the Pope didn't get very far here.
Okay, so it didn't break. That's good. This has to be the Crusader, the giant, journey from Nicaea. I mean, Okay, so I think they're talking about the People's Crusade from 1097, and that didn't that was destroyed in Nicaea. So he must have gotten into Antioch some other way because well, or wait, no, 1096 was the People's Crusade. 1097, I don't think they had reached Antioch yet, but I'd have to look it up. Maybe like, yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna do that right now because it seems that Kevin is running a little bit late. But so let's see. First Crusade, Antioch. Because I feel like that was a 1098 thing. Well, let's see. Lots of situations in Europe at the time. Frontier in 1025. That's a very interesting way of looking at the map of the Byzantine Empire from there. But, nope. Okay. So... Okay, well, yeah. Alright. So, Nicaea, was where the Byzantine Empire basically was like, can you capture the city for us? And then we promise we'll help you get all the way to Jerusalem if you give the lands back to us. And then they were like, psych, by around Cilicia or so. Important figure, huh?
I wonder who made this.
Okay.
This is research on another giant. Who is she?
Okay, well, time to quick resume this and start up Sea of Thieves. So we can talk more about gaming news. Let me just launch this stupid app a little bit. And I should be able to just do like so, though. Try again in a little bit. Ugh. You really gotta get these UI issues under control, Microsoft. Okay. Join party. There we go. Hey, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Alrighty then. It looks like you're playing a little bit of Skate.
Yep, just finishing a challenge thingy.
Just started streaming the Order of Giants. So why don't you talk about how Skate is so far? Is that that has to be the new one with the alpha test, right? With the period?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, I've been playing it. Well, I've been playing it for a few months, but they've put it in like open alpha now. So.
Oh, interesting.
I think it's not quite in like open alpha, but people who've been playing the closed alpha, they basically put out the build that they're gonna put out for everyone.
Bad angle.
Yeah, it's pretty good so far. I do have my complaints, but I'm happy it exists overall. I'd rather have this game than not have it.
Yeah, it's always good to have more games than kill them off. Like I just watched a video about Darkspore, and the team that's trying to reconstruct it didn't even ever play the game. It was a server-based Diablo-like spin-off of Spore that required an internet connection every time. So a lot of things from servers have to be reconstructed. And then like this one guy who was making the most progress dipped and didn't leave the source code, so they had to rebuild everything from scratch. And it's coming along pretty well so far for a very pre-alpha. But yeah, that was the game that apparently started Stop Killing Games. So yeah, anyway, it's better to have games than not have them, even if they're terrible. Which not saying that is, for sure. As for Order of the Giants, I am liking it so far. It took me a minute to get used to the controls again, and I'm still kind of figuring out this puzzle, like what the game actually wants from me when it comes to taking pictures can sometimes be a little bit annoying, but... Oh, there we go. When you do figure it out, it's great, and I mean, it's just the same game as before, just more of it, which I'm happy with. That's why I got the premium upgrade. So, anyway.
Yeah, I want to get to that at some point, but just a lot to play right now.
Oh yeah, I had the same problem. especially after finally 100%ing donkeykongbananza and trading that in. Because now I have pre-orders in for Little Nightmares 3 and Jurassic World Evolution 3. And then Borderlands 4 is next week? What?
I know.
I mean, it's been a pretty tough month for Game Pass too. That's why I made the thumbnail the way I did. But of course, the big headliner for most people, Hollow Knight Silksong finally is a thing that exists.
I've played about 2 hours or so.
I thought you would have. And?
It's pretty good so far. I mean, it's pretty much what I expected. It's not like... It's more Hollow Knight with... It feels a lot like a remix in a way. Obviously, it's a whole new map and everything, but a lot of the systems are similar, but with enough changes in terms of, like, your corpse runs, the economy,
corpse runs?
even just the movement. So there's a lot of that to get used to, but it's
is that
really
like where
so
you're
far.
collecting experience from your dead body?
Yeah. So
Okay.
you don't have to like fight your corpse this time like you did in Hollow Knight,
Oh,
but
okay.
there's a separate currency that you lose all of if you don't get back to your corpse. So it's a bit like it's a lot like different because by the end of Hollow Knight, like there wasn't really many stakes to losing, a corpse run. It was kind of because currency kind of became pretty meaningless.
I never
But
got far
this-
enough for that to be a problem.
Yeah, but Silksong definitely feels like they made a concerted effort to make the deaths more meaningful because you lose that secondary currency that seems to be like very important for a lot of upgrades and stuff. So that's interesting. I like that change. And they also, one thing I think a lot of people will dislike, but I don't personally mind, the map system in that game is pretty much identical to how Hollow Knight works, where you have to pretty much buy the maps from someone. And I liked that, but a lot of people did not. So I was kind of surprised they stuck with their guns on that, but I'm kind of happy they did. It makes the exploration much more satisfying, in my opinion.
So I'm starting. Oh, sorry. No, you keep going.
Yeah, no, go ahead. I didn't really have too much more to go on.
Okay.
with that.
So
Not too far.
I'm starting to see the flow of this giant serpent puzzle that I'm going to tackle after this. Like maybe I'll stream a little bit more after this because I had wanted to stream for this game for about an hour beforehand, but then finally resolved technical issues with audio firing weird, which always happens with fucking Streamlabs, even with the proper desktop audio routing that Windows has. Screw you, Mac, sometimes. And I was mulling over on stream that, like, if the next Xbox has a really robust PC mode that can really do everything that you would want and nothing that you wouldn't, like if the UI improvements that they have going for the handheld that allow you to switch between so many different things without ever needing to look at the taskbar, that could be really, really cool. And it could be a great way to convince me to get rid of my laptop, Xbox, and Mac for just this one basically desktop Xbox hybrid. Because like for actual portable computer stuff, I just have my iPad. Pretty much the only reason why I'm keeping this around is because Microsoft is fucking everybody who doesn't want to use Windows for Xbox Party Chat. But in any case, with that mini rant done, I think this water puzzle is very similar to the one that was in Central America, if I remember correctly. Or maybe it was Thailand. They had quite a few different water puzzles in the game, but it's like water flowing. So, anyway, the checkpoint was 3 minutes ago, and this puzzle will be way too much. So, let's go to Sea of Thieves.
Yep, I just finished my challenge, so I can hop out of here.
I figured that was what was going on. Let's see. Well, it's not great that Microsoft has to take this kind of like this burst of victory in the middle of of Diablo developers having to unionize to not have the constant pressures of layoffs, passion tax, and crunch under AI-obsessed Microsoft. Because it really does feel like AI slap is closing in everywhere. With that fucking fork for Fallout? Like, that isn't gonna be enough for me to not watch the new season of Fallout. Though I'm gonna try and figure out ways to watch it without Amazon. If you know what I mean. What is this cutscene about? Oh, okay. So, Wild West inspired skins, got it. Alright, I guess just, since I sailed with my ship last time, I'll sail with yours. And, I guess just invite me when ready. Or...
Loading in.
Okay. Ah, that music always gets me. Anytime they do new music, too.
Yeah, apologies if my voice sounds pretty rough. I'm feeling a little better. It's not quite as bad as when I woke up this morning.
It really wasn't. I haven't detected it anyway. Even when you had bronchitis, I didn't have much of a problem.
I don't know, like, internally I could hear just my stuffed upness, but maybe it's not coming through too much.
Maybe not, but anyway, speaking of medical stuff, I was in a bit of a rush to try and, because I was hearing, oh, the flu vaccines are going pretty fast, and then rich fucking kleptocrat Jr. With his brainworm told him to restrict the COVID vaccine to people under 65 or over 65 only, which is probably going to kill a lot of people. Not looking forward to that, but I was able to get it in Maryland, not DC for some reason, and at least autism is still a risk factor that allows you to get it, which I don't know entirely how to feel about that, because on the one hand, there's the ableism of like, oh, this means you won't be able to take care of yourself and you're gonna get sick. But on the other hand, it's nice to be able to have the vaccine. So, what were you thinking of doing?
I mean, you know, I like my fishing voyages, but if you're bored of those, we can do something else.
I don't really mind either way. What is that? Probably something somebody left behind.
Yeah, there's just a ship log.
I don't think you picked your ship correctly, but you can always add your cosmetics.
I definitely chose my.
Oh, it just
ship.
might be loading in weird.
It reset the cosmetics. Weird.
Yeah.
I can go set some real quick.
Yeah, no worries. Well, did you already drop down the voyage that you wanted, or no? That's okay.
No, if you want to vote for put it down a fishing one, I'll come get it once I'm done customizing.
I mean, the smugglers one was exciting because we could sell on those islands.
Yeah, we could do that too. Yeah, I'm good with either.
New smugglers have arrived. Cool. Let's do it. I mean, it's kind of a... It says length 4, but, diving in to look. Currently have treasure on your ship. What do we have?
Just the ship's log. It doesn't really matter.
Well, can we sell it, or no?
I forget where you give those into. It might be the Reapers, and they're not worth that much.
I'm gonna try seeing if the Sovereigns will take them. If not, I'll just leave it on the ground. Doesn't really matter.
I'm actually gonna change up my cosmetics a bit. Actually, hold on. Did that work? No, it didn't. Okay.
Okay. Can't be handed in here. Deliver it to the representative of the Reaper's Bones. Okay, dropped it on the ground there. For anybody who cares on this server who ends up finding this. Have the, what, couple hundred gold for the Reapers for that.
Much.
Yeah, no. Well, speaking of revivals of long-dead action heroes franchises, James Bond, it looks pretty cool. I mean, it's exactly what I thought it would be. Whoa, those are some new cosmetics for your.
Yeah, I'm just changing it up a bit.
Neat.
Yeah,
And very
I didn't
matches
actually
your jacket. Sorry, you were saying.
Yeah, I didn't get to see any of the James Bond stuff yet. Because I got home from work yesterday, I was already feeling sick. So I was like, well,
Oh no.
let me just go to bed early so I can play Silksong in the morning.
Oh gosh, I'm so sorry, but that sounds rough. Meanwhile, I haven't had much time to play video games because again the arm thing, and also doing a bunch of research for my live stream against the DC occupation tomorrow. Because I've also done 2 museum tours at this point of National Museum of African American History and Culture, and Air and Space Museum, because museums and objective history is under attack. And so, shameless plug, please support those and subscribe and hit the bell for more. Anyway, and also for SunnyRedemption Sailing, your bi-weekly voyage for BSB gaming news. So let's continue with that. So I saw the James Bond first look, like gameplay deep dive from PlayStation, and I have to say it really shows a lot of promise. This game is coming out in 2026, so the comments about like 007 FPS from some of the heavier moments in the trailer, with just like a lot of particles flying around from explosions and lots of fast driving causing streaming problems on regular PS5 hardware. Well, first of all, it showed me that the game is real. That was nice. And second of all, like they have quite a bit of time to optimize. I am a bit worried about it on, say, the Nintendo Switch 2, which that already has me nervous with things like Borderlands 4 limiting the frame rate and cutting split screen. But yeah, so like it starts off very Hitman. I'm not sure what accessibility options there will be for people who literally just are so dense like me that they cannot get some of these things, but maybe there will be more choice. I don't know how much that will impact the story per se, because it doesn't seem like you can, I don't know, skip the car chase section that ends up happening, which kind of looked boring, the first one. The second one was better, and then the shooting was like a looser, waterier looking Uncharted, but like we'll see if it feels like a bunch of games bolted onto each other, or if it feels like its own thing, because yeah, I'm probably getting it on Xbox Series X next year, and I mean it looks great. Again, they can fix all that later.
I'll have to check it out. I meant to check it out today, but just been busy.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. Let's see. I mean, if they can get the PS5 handheld working, and that plays things better than Steam Deck and Nintendo Switch 2 when it comes to 007 First Light, then, well, I mean, they have the marketing for that, so they can promote whatever games they want that have that marketing capability with whatever new hardware they come up with. Especially, I would hope maybe that there's a PS5 Pro bundle with 007 First Light included for $750. Maybe that would make the PS5 Pro worth it. And I'm also surprised they didn't showcase it on PS5 Pro. They just were like, here's the regular PS5 capture. At least that was my understanding.
I guess the thinking with that is probably just the user base is mostly on regular PS5, so...
Yeah, and it seems like the PS5 Pro in general kind of fizzled. It's never really the hardware that causes problems with Sony console sales. It's always like, oh, the games are lacking. The hardware is usually good enough, at least, for all the games that they want. When because they understand it, obviously. I mean, that's how you get performance out of these games, is you know your hardware inside out, and you have secret sauce that helps with that. I wonder if those days are kind of over for, say, Microsoft and stuff, since they have to travel so much everywhere. But,
If you want to head ashore and take that guy out, I can just
yeah, I'll just
babysit the ship.
I need to... I wanted to get in a cannon. Hang on. Whee! Okay. And I got bit by a snake immediately as I landed. Fun! Okay. So... And... You know, it hasn't been perfect for their flagship relaunch of Gears on PlayStation either. I hear that pretty much the online multiplayer is just a massive queuing, has massive queuing problems. And that is not great.
Is that like only on PlayStation? Because I
Seems
haven't
to
seen
be
that
only.
on Xbox yet.
Seems to be only on the PlayStation.
Okay, that's unfortunate.
I haven't tried out the multiplayer at all on Xbox, so I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, I played it a couple hours the other day. It was, you know, it worked.
Okay, where are you, you bag of bones? Okay, found him. He's toast. So,
Right,
what are we looking for again?
So, I don't know where the smuggler's hiding on this island, but it's a cave near the shore.
Okay.
There are also some skeleton ships we could fight nearby if we want extra treasure, so it's up to you.
And we can sell that to the smugglers too, or do we have to take that into the...
I assume the treasure they drop can be sold to the smugglers. But
well,
we skipped that last time we did this voyage.
Oh, okay. Well, let's do the stuff on the island first, and then see what's around.
Yeah, we're already here. Let's just see what he's got.
Well, there's
I believe
phantoms.
How it worked with the last one was it's going to send us to another island to find another smuggler and give them the treasure that's
yeah, that's how I remember it working too.
Yeah.
I mean, but otherwise, it's Gears is just more of the same, but exactly as you expect, but slightly improved, slightly with the graphics, very slightly. Like, I'm pretty sure if somebody pointed it out to me on, say, Digital Foundry, I could be like, okay, I see where that is. But really, the leap seems to come from every other generation now. So I could see, like, a lot of people who have just been on Xbox One forever deciding that now's the time to upgrade to the next Xbox handheld, let's say. If it, you know, that handheld is what you would expect, which is a console that can play all the Xbox games with a PC mode, as part of a unified platform. Because, well, that's what happened with Dead Space. Graphically, it took 2 generations to make a remake, and it was really good looking and really showed the leap in a longer time scale. So you know, it's Gears, and I'll definitely play more of that with you next week. Most likely.
I still have to pick up my insane run as well. I'm still at the end of Act 1.
I mean, I'm probably gonna keep going as much as I can myself, and then it is drop in and drop out. So,
so I can just join in whenever.
Right. So we're not replaying Gears 1 for like 6 weeks with the way our schedule is.
I found the guy, by the way. He has 6 pieces of cargo.
Nice. Okay.
So if you find where I'm at, it's just a little up ahead of.
I see your name tag. Give me a second.
Yep. So I'm just getting all the cargo, and then we can shuttle it down to the ship.
Oh, that's just gold pouch. Very welcome, though. Okay. And I have 1,097 ancient coins. This is the start of the new season, right? So maybe I'll pick up the Plunder class or something. Especially if I end up getting that interview with Schlep about the Roblox situation. But holy shit, like 40% of the site's base is underage. Half of all U.S. children have a Roblox account, and the staggering $12 billion that they lost because of banning one YouTuber shows that this is part of the cultural moment of reckoning with pedophilia that Epstein has also brought. Well, that the resurfacing of the Epstein scandal has brought, despite the efforts of the military to drown out the press conference with literal jets flying over. Because we live in authoritarianism now, and this is what the government does to spite citizens. But anyway, because I also just heard about Just a Robot trying to defend someone who was accused of grooming a minor, and I'm like, oh man, you know, there's no defense for any of what she did, and no defense for any of the predators. I think some of my questions for Schlep will be like, how do you avoid repeating some of the past mistakes of Chris Hansen? Like, somebody killed themselves after To Catch a Predator falsely accused them. And, like, now they're working on a documentary together for some niche streaming service, I forget. And so it's like, how do you avoid the accusations of profiteering? Not necessarily that I think that Schlep is doing these things, but that that someone who, you know, gets a lot of fame from being noble can let that get to their head. Like, how do you keep yourself humble when you're doing all this? How do you make sure that, like, you don't cause extra harm? That kind of thing. But not in the sense of trying to gotcha. It's just like, I'm fascinated by the idea of this guy who, you know, was groomed on Roblox, unfortunately, by someone who offered him Robux, which seems to be the main method of that. You know, and then off-platform conversations. But, like, you know, then to turn that around and do something that you're passionate about for the good of the community is a very good thing, especially with involvement from law enforcement. Again, I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, and hashtag freeschlep is very much in the right here. It's just like, you know, I want to pick his brain. And if not, then I'll get more into my own research onto that. I don't expect him to get back to me because he's a very busy guy who just got another pedophile arrested. So, you know, it's very interesting how that works. But now they're saying with Roblox that they're just gonna have AI moderate, and they have hundreds of thousands of user-generated games. How? The AI is gonna make mistakes because they've already banned some popular games by mistake. Like, Meep City was there for years and just was taken down, but like there was a skate park game, I forget. Again, I can't really speak with as much knowledge on this as other subjects, but because like I've tried to watch specific Roblox commentary channels who are like, oh, this person was banned and this person and this person, and I'm like, I have no idea who any of you are. Because as much as I did like playing, you know, oh, I died from fall. I will just offer my soul to the ferryman and accept the L.
I'm nowhere near you.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, like, I played a little bit of it, and, well, I can remember why I sunk a ton of hours into Arsenal. The sheer wackiness and weapon variety is, and also the level design is pretty cool. The problem is that unless you're playing on PC, it feels like you're shooting water in the vague area of the target. Basically, it's luck whether and whoever is shooting first, whether somebody wins or not. So then I found a different one called like Gunfight, but this had the opposite problem. The gunplay was excellent. The problem this time was that the levels were basically a spawn kill trap central. And also, this is pretty much my complaint with every Roblox game that I've tried. The UI for actually entering the game is a disaster zone. Not professional at all. And usually tries to sell you Robux. I apparently had an existing balance of Robux. Probably like a gift from Game Pass, because I do not remember buying Robux of my own free will. So I had like 116 left, and I got some credit packs to roll for guns. The part that people are not realizing is that this site encourages gambling in children. Because they really want the Robux, they really need the Robux to make their characters look cool, and you know, you and I are older gamers who can dismiss that kind of thing a bit more easily, but you know, cosmetics in video games serve the purpose that like fashion in an 80s movie did, i.e. to set yourself apart. Like I just started watching a little bit of the South Park Labubu's episode that just came out, and I'm like, oh my god. Buying all those blind boxes for one specific kind of ugly looking troll that you know, a few celebrities say is popular. Ugh. So, you know, this kind of cosmetic chasing I think is part of a very trend chasey environment, but well, that's video games lately, or at least that's live service games lately. You know, you could level pretty much all these same criticisms at any live service game directed for kids, or that, you know, isn't technically supposed to be for kids, but you know, people are, you know, parents are letting their kids play Call of Duty, you know, like, or GTA 6, which the world's first quintuple A game is gonna sell like gangbusters at the beginning, and then obviously the shark cards, maybe even GTA Plus subscriptions. Let me put this on the crow's nest. Hang on. So unless government regulation is brought to bear, I feel like this isn't really going to change all that much, because platforms have a lot of leeway on about who they can and can't have on their platforms thanks to Section 230. I'm dead again from another fall. Oh, I thought I could hit the water.
A little far from you.
A player is fallen into the river in El City. Let's see.
I'm just grabbing this last treasure, then we're good to go.
Not only that, but it seems like AI has really invaded Gamescom this year. So many teams are saying it's valuable. Like, there's this one. This is from Eurogamer, by the way. Let's see. I need to start listening to Ed Zitron's Better Offline, which is an excellent podcast that is basically doing a lot of what we're doing, and so I might take some cues from that. Harping at executive greed, tech lies, and the market disaster that's likely coming. Yeah, let's see. Which developer was it? Oh, Brett, yeah, that's right. They actually didn't name the developers because they didn't want them to get immediately, like, just blitzed by online comments. But when so many games are delaying to like, polish up their graphics or expand on systems to try and, you know, stand out in this crowded marketplace. Like, I imagine that the wall shenanigans alone, where you have a grappling hook and stuff for Borderlands 4, must take it quite a while to get right. Especially with the bigger, more vertical environments that they have going for that game. Oh, okay, that Phantom's toast, and I'm gonna get the last one. Anyway.
I'm just putting the last treasure on here, and then we can get out of here.
But, you know, even if I'm kind of existential about the game industry a little bit due to AI, again, I am still looking forward to the rest of September for Wave 2, because I know that one of those is going to be the Xbox release of Frostpunk 2. I tried to get into it on my Mac. I just couldn't, because I had done the Xbox One version first and was too used to the controls there. I guess we'll see how that all works out, because from what I understand, Frostpunk 2 is way more complex. so it'll be interesting to see how they fit that all on a radial or whatever. But the game that I really want on Game Pass, you know what that is? That I wish that Microsoft would do, because it kind of ties into what I miss about Microsoft. Did you ever play or at least hear about Rise of Nations, Rise of Legends?
I've heard of Rise of Nations, but never got into it.
I'm very surprised that they haven't tried any remasters of Rise of Nations. I wonder if there's some rights complications because big, huge games got like dissolved and then resurrected and then dissolved again. And I'm dead again. On the beach.
I can get you this time, I think. Yep.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Third time's the charm.
All right, and we can get out of here.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Right on then. Okay, there we go. Now I'm gonna redeem myself by moderating the snake closely and not letting it burn our ship down again. Let's see. Oh, and apparently Roblox games are made with AI now.
Not too surprising, honestly.
I mean, it's the easiest way to make money, because you don't have to put any effort, you click a couple buttons, the computer does it for you, and the genie world generating thing is actually getting fairly good-ish? Or at least for this kind of simplistic gameplay that they're going for, which is basically walking simulators. Like, walking simulators might end up being largely AI generated fairly quickly because you could see the utility of, like, oh, a dream world where somebody steps into the same place and it turns completely different. But the way that it's going about is, of course, something that I'm bothered by because this was clearly based off of stolen material. And now, I guess, if you're Warner Brothers, you can sue to try and get your licensed characters back after specifically telling the machine to make an output of Scooby-Doo, for instance. We'll see how that goes, and whether people will get upset about that, but I mean, the genie is out of the bottle, for sure. And, again, we'll see how that benefits gameplay or not, but, it could lead to a lot of randomly generated, bathroom games. Because Roblox set the rating for those, for adult games to 17+, which is still a minor in many jurisdictions. A lot of the problem being that, you know, the world should just, like, pick a lane for everybody and just stick to it about when adult it is. Because, you know, like when you're 18, you can't get drunk, but you can get blown up for your country. You can join the military at 17 if you want. And then you can also drive a deadly vehicle at 16 for some reason. So, yeah, it's like either give 16-year-olds the right to vote or make everything 18, you know? But, you know, but still, it's not a good look for the platform at all. One that's had these scandals going on for years and years and just nothing but numb about it. And speaking of things not being done, did you also hear about what's going on inside of King?
Not really. I might have seen a headline or something, but not really.
So there's been months of investigation since July by mobilegamer.biz, and they've talked to some King staff anonymously who claim that some staff are taking legal action over their severance packages, that cuts were made with no consideration for staff performance, that layouts were haphazard, including people being rehired within weeks, that toxic managers were investigated multiple times by workplace ethics teams with no repercussions, that the cuts to the bloated workforce don't go far enough, said one manager who expects more, which, like, okay, buddy. And then...
why don't we start with you, then?
Yeah, precisely.
The workforce is so bloated.
I mean, okay. you do need layers of management to some degree, but but the problem is that if you cut those, then you end up giving people a bunch of direct reports that are extra and burdening people with your work. And I honestly think that everything should be a bit flatter structure to begin with a more collaborative thing. But that's my democratic socialist brain talking. I know that in this capitalist system, you show up and you do the job that you're ordered to a lot of the time. And even for remote jobs now, they're like 4 days in the office, like being very strict about it because the balance of power shifted to workers during the pandemic and the Great Resignation, and people are wanting that back at these major companies, wanting the ability to say, like, look, I actually have a job that is important because I'm going around whipping the employees into using AI every day. That's what Microsoft says. It's like you apparently need to adopt it every day in the office, but it's very low. And I mean, the HR team is an incompetent shit show protecting the leaders. What else is new? Though again, I feel like public sector HR can definitely do better at times because there's not as many incentives against that. But like, there can also be lazy people in anywhere who just are like, look, I gotta protect the company, and yeah, I mean, it doesn't feel good to have all these negative things coming out about Microsoft while trying to enjoy Indiana Jones, or Gears, or Hollow Knight, which I'm gonna try probably tomorrow, you know, since I want to get back to Indiana Jones. I'm just sick and tired of being sick and tired of a handful of executives ruining things like this.
Oh. I got caught in the trap. I don't know if you're anywhere near me.
I'll get you. Nope.
Yeah, the trap. The aforementioned trap.
Oops. Well.
Well, now I know that's there.
I thought
because the other smugglers had traps, but they were pretty easy to dodge, so I expected to just run right through that one.
I really thought that I would be able to pay you back for the 3 times you revived me this stream. As my brain collapses, but no. Let's see. I mean,
I know where the smuggler is. I can just bring another thing over there.
One video that I'm trying to watch, pretty soon, is that this guy managed to save his digital Xbox games forever. I'm very interested in that for sure, because that's the other thing, is the one thing that would make me hesitant to getting a next Xbox at all is if they don't have any kind of disc add-on. I doubt that they wouldn't have an add-on, but I also think that will probably be like a $50 extra charge. So, let's say they manage to, like the PS6 is $1,000 and Microsoft manages to undercut them at $800. That's still nearly $1,000 for that. And then they're really gonna have to figure out how to justify what remains of Game Pass 4's value proposition once they have the PC mode up, because it's like, well, really, what's the point of paying for multiplayer anymore? Other than that, it's just a recurring revenue source that's predictable. At least for something like Nintendo, you can see like, oh, well, maybe the new Donkey Kong DLC that's been rumored for Mario Kart World will be included with the Nintendo Switch Online membership, which you would probably want to get anyway if you have Mario Kart World, because there's not a ton of single-player content, even though I do dabble from time to time with P-Switch missions. It's just like occasionally, and you know, find a Peach medallion every so often. Not a lot, unless you want to do the multiplayer, and that really is where the main fun is to be had. So, like, you know, might as well get the free DLC with it. That's the proposition that Nintendo has had, but, like, guess we'll find out from Microsoft. Ah! I'm getting attacked. Oh,
Oop.
no. Oh, I know what I wanted to ask. I still need to, figure out the time for, like, find time for starocean? Any tips on that?
Oh, okay. I mean, I didn't get like super far in it before I let you borrow it, so not really, honestly.
Okay. Well, sometimes even the JRPG genie...
I've started 3 different Star Ocean games in the past 6 months, and I have not gotten super far in any of them.
Well, okay.
So not much help there, unfortunately.
Yeah, I just need to find time for that and Expedition 33 to get back into JRPGs. That, at least you can give me tips on if I get stuck.
I've got the last treasure, and then we can go to the other island. It's going to be a bit of a journey.
Sounds good.
I think that's the end of this voyage, because we skipped the skeleton ships.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
I was kind of looking for them on the way, because it said map square F3, and we kind of roamed around that a little bit, but I didn't actually see them.
Yeah, who knows?
I don't know what triggers them.
Yeah, who knows then. Oh, one indie developer that I'm relieved for, or maybe a little bit nervous for, is Thunderful, because they just got bought out by Atari. After apparently they really liked Lost in Random, the new one that I barely played and don't remember the subtitle of, The Eternal Die. Yeah, The Eternal Die. I don't really know what they saw in it. Because it's very much a generic roguelite, but again, like, you know, some part of me really wants to be happy for them now that they have financial security, but then I remember, I thought this too with Microsoft, that like, that the developers that I loved would be safe, you know, and that they would be making exclusive games for my hardware, so, you know, things could change very quickly
but
now.
Atari right now, I like a lot of what they're doing, so I have some amount of faith in them to do something interesting with these companies.
How so?
I mean, they also bought, what else did they buy recently? They bought something else interesting recently where I was like, I didn't think Atari would be into that. And they've been kind of putting out those reimagined old games and picking different developers for them.
And
that I've played a few of that I've liked.
And putting out the Atari 2600 Plus, which supports 2600 games, 7800 games, and new games that they've been working with indie developers on. This is what the Atari VCS should have been.
Yeah, they're doing a lot better than they were 5 years ago, where they were just, it felt like they were coasting on their nostalgia. Now it looks like they're putting out, like, they're putting effort into maintaining their brand in a more tasteful way.
Yeah, maybe. Because, yeah, the VCS is definitely abandonware at this point. It can barely even launch the few games that are on the store. Oh, I gotta get on.
Foolhardy endeavor. I know, I haven't raced it.
Okay, there we go.
Yet.
I'm up.
Alright.
Okay, so I found out what they acquired. 5 Ubisoft games. For Cold Fear 2005, never heard of that one.
So that was another interesting thing they did. Yes, they took a bunch of games from Ubisoft that Ubisoft was like, well, we're not doing anything with these, so here you go.
A lot of ones that aren't games that aren't really necessarily associated with the Atari brand could be under Infogrames, which they've explored using. But the other ones, Child of Eden from 2011. That was, for those who don't know, that was an Xbox 360 rhythm game, I think.
Yeah, it was by the creator of Rez. It was a very kind of a spiritual successor to it. So it was one of the first games. It was a game by his studio Enhance before Well, they're the ones who did Tetris Effect and the new Luminous game coming out.
Yeah, that's cool. I tried it before I really got into Res or Tetris Effect and stuff like that, and so I just sort of got completely lost, but I'm gonna reinstall that now while I have the opportunity. So it was all... It's backwards compatible, but not with the 360 Kinect.
No Kinect functionality. So you can still play it with controller, but it was pretty cool in Kinect.
You don't have a Kinect, do you?
I have a 360 Kinect, yeah, but I haven't tried it in a good 5 years, so I have no clue if it even still works.
Oh man. Well, that could be cool to try when I'm over there for the holiday. Let's see. I Am Alive from 2012.
Oh yeah, that game was no good.
I'll definitely give it another bash because I think it had some interesting ideas, but yeah, no, there's a reason why it didn't get a sequel or anything like that.
But I like the fact that Atari is like, you know, I could see them taking these games and saying, well, we can at least polish things up and put them out again. Like, if that's what they're planning to do with these franchises.
Yeah, I guess they weren't really proving useful as subscription fillers for Ubisoft Plus.
Yeah, like
or maybe they still will under the deal, and Atari can just put its games on there, and Ubisoft gets free money. Who knows? So they have Grow Home and Grow Up, which I don't think I bought that one because I struggled with Grow Up.
Yeah, Grow Home was cool, but I never actually played Grow Up.
Well, I don't think... Okay, let me think, because I'm not finding Grow Home. Maybe it was delisted? Hang on.
I think it actually was or something. I'm trying to think where I even played that. It might have been on PS4. Did it even come out on Xbox?
Well, it's
I could have
available
sworn
on...
one of those...
It's on Steam. I can buy it for $8, so it's not been delisted or anything.
Okay. Yeah, it only ever... It came to Windows and PS4. So, yeah, I think I played it on PS4. Might have been a PS Plus game at one point or something.
That probably was a lot of how people experienced it. They made it for Linux in November 2015. Linux! Way before any of the Steam Deck era.
That would line up around with when Steam machines were trying to be pushed, so maybe that's why they did a Linux version.
I thought that was...
Right.
I thought the Steam machines were like more 2012-ish, but let me see.
They were still trying until like 2015 or so.
Oh yeah, they were released on November 2015, so they were starting that in 2015, and then
so
they were no longer
that would be my
Steam
guess as to why there's a Linux version then.
Just lots of incentives there, and now that is all to the good for the Steam Deck. Obviously, that's been the real big driver. Is they had a really good solid idea with the Steam machines. Is bring the comforts bring the benefits of PC gaming to the accessibility and comfort of the living room. But it just took a really, really, really long time for them to polish that sort of living room, big picture, you know, gaming mode experience. The problem was having so many manufacturers, like in a similar situation to 3DO, meant that they wanted to get profits from it, and so there was a lot of confusion, a lot of overlap. Yeah, no, that did not work out. But now Valve has set the game, has set up the handheldification of everything, as they've mentioned many times. Let me see. Where are we? Because is your compass okay? It's not too stormy, right?
Yeah, I know where I'm going.
Okay, well, it seems like we're on the right track. So, yeah, that'll be really interesting. It seems like Ubisoft really needs the money. They don't seem to have a lot of interesting games coming out. Like, I think a new game that just came out for Ubisoft Plus was The Settlers' New Allies. So I'm going to try that, but I don't have a lot of high hopes because I have never really experienced Settlers. It really, Anno Domini 117 is the only reason that I'm keeping this for right now. Because I've always liked the Rome-style city-building games. I forget what it was called, but I played one on PC way back when. And oh, and that reminds me, the Riseofnations. So, that was a steampunk fantasy spin-off of that, and that got me really into steampunk, along with classic science fiction, Jules Verne and the like. Okay, I think we've got people we could fight. Oh, that's the fortress.
That's just the fortress.
Okay, never mind. But yeah, so then I tried 1800, I think it was, but I just couldn't get into it. Hopefully, the Roman theming really gets me back into these things, because it sucks that I'm rusty at these RTS games. I would really love to get back into Age of Empires 2, Age of Mythology, and especially if they release a remaster or something, or even just allow me to run the original games in PC mode, because I would run out and do that for Age of Empires 3 and Riseofnations. So Riseofnations, again, the rights thing might be an issue. Age of Empires 3, I really don't know. Maybe, for the remaster, they obviously had to change some things about the way Native Americans were depicted and stuff, so, you know, that's part of it. But it also just had terrible performance on my laptop to try, so maybe they just really need to optimize that thing, and they're working on that. But yeah, like Rise of the Nations, Rise of Legends had walking titans, basically, fighting genies, and like airships bombarding everything, and a pretty neat little story that had all that had snake people and genies and steampunk Italians fighting each other. So very informative game, and it really symbolizes the era of Microsoft that really got me into Microsoft gaming, which was like these creative sandboxes that allowed you to do whatever you wanted. With like Zoo Tycoon or Age of Empires or what have you. And Microsoft Flight Simulator, of course, because that was the game that got me into the Century of Flight, and that circularly fed the special interest in planes that I have, you know. So it was extra sad going into airandspacemuseum and feeling like, oh man, this could be it for objective history. Not entirely objective, because to some degree there's corporate sponsorships of museum exhibits, and you know, Northrop Grumman and all that jazz is not exactly very neutral, but when it's kind of understandable, at least because they're aerospace manufacturers. What degree does the president have in history? He got like a middling business degree that his daddy paid for. So, you know, it's like, fuck you very much. I would like to give my family quality history education. They are raising money, approximately $2.5 billion, but currently the federal budget that they get is about $1 billion. So we shall see how that goes. Like, if because Trump is a rat who will chew through the fences of his authority, such as they are. So he'll try it as a distraction from some other thing, probably, and then people will get upset, and we'll see, because the Smithsonian is asserting its independent authority over exhibits and stuff. But with that PSA out of the way, goodness, actually show a little bit. It's just this is so enraging. It's hard to contain. Oh, I know what I wanted to ask. How come hollowknightsilksong is $20 when the original was $15 and stuff like that? Is it because of how you were saying it feels like a remix?
I would say it seems like a much bigger game. Like the 100% speedrun achievement is 30 hours, whereas in the original it was 15.
Wait, what?
So I'm trying not to spoil myself too much on the length, but it seems like a pretty long game, so... I think that could be part of it. And honestly, I think most people were expecting it to be more like 30, based on how long it's been in development, and the fact that they could probably get away with that.
It seems like they also had an engine change due to the Unity royalties stuff, right?
I'm not sure, actually. I didn't notice on the boot up what it was running on. But, yeah, I think 20 is pretty low based on the fact that Hollow Knight launched, 7-8 years ago at 15. And I wanted to say originally the, complete edition was more like 25. I could be wrong. Maybe they lowered the price permanently at some point. But, because there is, DLC for Hollow Knight. I don't think it was originally included. I think it was originally, a separate purchase. But, yeah, I think this game is just super long, and I think it definitely justifies $20. That's definitely the low end of where I thought they would price it.
Well, it seems like there's no confirmation about anything. I thought I heard something, I read something in a Kotaku article, but, let's see, development, okay. I mean, the original version for Silksong actually had a smaller world, apparently, according to Bloomberg. Instead implementing a quest system to encourage revisiting areas within the world, but then they just kept expanding.
Yeah, and I mean, Silksong wasn't even supposed to be its own game. It was just a stretch goal in their Kickstarter 10 years ago. So
as like an expansion or something?
Yeah, it was like, hey, we'll have playable Hornet, the girl Hollow Knight. And then as the scope increased, they're like, oh, we're just going to make this its own game.
See, yeah, I mean, expandalones are how people are getting games out quicker.
Yeah, I don't even think this really is an expandalone. I think it's taking a lot of the mechanics from the original game, and from what I can tell, it's a fully new game in every way, just with some remixed mechanics.
I suppose I mean games that are very similar to their original games, but with very quality of life touches. Which isn't inclusive of standalones, like how a square is a type of rectangle, but there are more rectangles than squares. So, let me just put that over here.
Right. And we're good to head back to the outpost, by the way.
Sure.
I don't think we have time to start a whole other quest, because these take a little bit.
Yeah, sure, whatever.
But let's just go back and sell, maybe chat a little more.
Sure, sounds good. Well, I just saw on Kotaku that EA is no longer making a college basketball game and is blaming the athletes for it.
When was the last time they actually put out a college basketball game? Have they been doing that? I don't think they have, right? Did they, announce one and then unannounce it?
Well, okay, so they teased it online back in June.
Okay, yeah, I thought that's what it was.
2009 with NCAA Basketball 10.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's been a very long time since one of those.
But 2K has also had plans, so it seems like they wanted to create college basketball DLC for NBA 2K, which makes a bit of sense.
Yeah, I don't even know the last time EA successfully got a basketball game out the door, because they've had so many stops and starts with that.
Well, there was the NBA Live series that tried for much of the last generation to compete.
Okay, because the last one that I remember, the one that got literally canceled as review shop copies were coming out,
What?
NBA Elite.
NBA Elite?
And I don't.
What?
Yeah. It was such a buggy, unfinished mess that they decided to just throw up their hands and cancel it as review copies were in the wild. That was back in 20. That was at least. It was mid 360 generation. I don't know that they've tried again since. I think they've had. They've said that they're gonna try a basketball game again, but 2K is just so dominant.
Yeah, that's the problem. Well, apparently you can still buy NBA Live 19, or it's included with EA Play, I guess. Which should just get Dragon Age the Veilguard, so that's probably where I'm gonna spend most of my time, since I was milking the trial for a while there. Maybe not a ton, because it has been a while since I got into this one, and we'll see if it, in the end, is with months between it and the controversies, stands on its own in the end for me personally, because part of the problem was I didn't want to stream it and have people like make fun of my character with anti-trans slurs, etc. Now, it's a very dangerous time right now for trans people with the Minnesota shooting and the president saying, oh, you know what, all trans people are mentally ill and they can't have guns now, which just seems like a pretext to start using that designation to do other things without due process of law. But yeah, like, there's a pretty huge backlash to anything queer right now, and so it might just be that I want to have that as like a good offline game for myself, you know? Everybody needs to know all my business. Let's see, sell that and the contents within.
And I've got the gunpowder barrel that's up top, and I think that's everything.
So whatever licensing terms NBA Live had probably were generous enough to still allow it to exist 6 years after it was relevant. But speaking of 2K, it just blew my mind that once again Jason Schreier proved how goated he is by revealing this news, that 2K tried to buy Perfect Dark off of Microsoft and finish the
Oh yeah, I saw that.
But they were in disagreements over the long-term ownership of the Perfect Dark IP. Microsoft!
Yeah.
You canceled Perfect Dark! The newest game that you've been working on for 6 years!
Yeah, I don't understand that. Like what future of the Perfect Dark IP if you're not going to make the game? Like, what do you care? I don't understand that at all. Like, if you're gonna maybe spin up another Perfect Dark project in 5 years, it's not gonna be ready for another 10 years minimum. Then, like,
I mean,
you know,
hopefully they could have salvaged the work that was being done, and, you know, tried to build something off of that. But with large portions of it faked for trailers, I don't know what there actually was to salvage. I guess maybe the name was great, but like, it's just so brutal because they could have had their own first light, you know. Instead, PlayStation gets the marketing for this kind of James Bondy thing, which Perfect Dark was a spiritual successor to GoldenEye, and now the game that is the successor to James Bond games of the past is dominating the conversation, and there's no chance for Microsoft to compete there after wasting all that money and not checking in on their supposedly quadruple A team, the initiative. It's just well, okay, so this was actually also being negotiated with through Embracer Group and Crystal Dynamics, but now there's going to be layoffs. No, there have been layoffs already with Crystal Dynamics, which is like, I love Crystal Dynamics so much. Why? You know, and what other projects do they have? Maybe the Tomb Raider game from Amazon. But who knows when that's coming out? And I mean, this is just so similar to the stupidity around Tango Gameworks. I'm glad that Crafton acquired them and saved Hi-Fi Rush, but it's like, why couldn't they have just figured that out sooner? Why can't you just figure out things sooner? You know, or like take a strategic direction, Xbox. But you know, have the win with Indiana Jones this month and Hollow Knight and stuff. You know, even if I'm frustrated, even if I'm like, oh man, I mean, I'm being basically grabbed by the short hairs here, because it's easy for me to boycott PlayStation because I don't have a PlayStation. And while a couple of friends are playing Helldivers 2, which is making me waver, if they're still playing that, if there's still people playing that in a few years, I could probably just load it up through the PC mode on the Steam app that I already have, you know, so I don't have to buy it again. But, like, sometimes. with them, because like now they're focusing on you know, a $1,000 handheld with barely any changes other than a coat of paint to the existing Xbox ROG Ally. Maybe, I mean, they still haven't officially revealed the price, despite it being practically obvious what would be, you know, at $800 to $1,000, depending, for the Xbox Ally or Xbox Ally X. So that's just fucking annoying for no fucking reason. Where did we have to trade in any last things? Like
I'm just kind of aimlessly running around. I'm
Okay.
probably gonna call it a night here because I'm not feeling super great.
Oh no. Well, before you
But
go, I will
yeah.
tell you about my travel plans now that I've secured them for Swaziland, for Eswatini, again for October. I will be gone the week of October 13th through 19th. There's probably not going to be there's not going to be as many exciting activities, but there will be some, like a cultural village in the area and the National Archives there. Possibly talking to some civil society advocates underground. We shall see about that. You know, it's a dangerous game that I will be playing, but I feel confident in my underground journalism capabilities and feel like I can handle myself. And you know, if I was gonna be in the country with anybody, it would be my fiance who loves me very much, and my Mr. Man. I'm so excited to hug him again, and to show him Sonic Racing Crossworlds. And you know, even though I've traded in DK, maybe I just get it digitally. Because that game is so much fun, and it would be awesome to show all the different animal bonanzas and stuff to Bobo and Tato, since, like, maybe there will be lion and giraffe DLC, because they went up to the surface, supposedly, if you do a particular quiz tome thing in layer 1600. So who knows? That could be fun. Anyway.
That sounds great.
Well, you have a good one. When would you next be available?
Let me think. Probably either Sunday or Monday.
Okay, so my plan for yeah, I think I can do Sunday evening if you do, but Monday might work better.
Okay.
We'll see.
I'm
We'll
good
play
with
it by
either, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah, just let me know.
Thinking for the off weeks is that's when we'll like try to do technical troubleshooting on my Mac and stuff, because I've listened to some of our old live streams where the routing was working correctly from Parallels to Mac and everything. It sounded great, it looked great and stuff. And hopefully doesn't have the hitching now this time with the with being plugged in and everything instead of having a low battery, but the performance may still not be great. So gonna keep trying with that with Gears of War, and you know, if it doesn't work after like 10 minutes, we can just do it offline, and then we'll have our show here now that we have the setup all set. It's kind of fucking annoying again that I had to be forced back on the Windows, but that's the only way that we can have a seamless show right now until I can figure out something else. And so that's what we'll do for the show weeks, just so there's not any hitches, because we got the most likes last episode at 8.
Cool.
And our views climbed back up. So anyway, yeah, see you early next week then.
Yeah, I'll let you know. All right, see ya.
All right, bye-bye. All right, well, I think I can stream Indiana Jones for about another hour. Okay, back to it with Quick Resume. Which, like, if there's anything that that Xbox has done right this generation, it's absolutely Quick Resume, and as a feature that should have been everywhere, but hopefully for the handhelds in the next console, that'll be okay. Okay, so back to the water puzzle. And so that is a turn. And I can remove these and turn other things. Okay, so I think if I get enough water into here, I can lift up this gate. Ah! Nice.
Bingo.
That is another one of these for some reason. I think the idea is to lift up all the gates, for sure. Like, we don't need that now, so I think I can rotate that this way? Kind of? Oh, no. Trying to grab you. And then... Big okay. Alrighty then. Let's see. Huh. That can't be moved, so... You know what? Maybe I need to rotate this one and get it around in a circuitous way. That would make sense, kind of. Or maybe not. No. Gosh, this puzzle is tricky. And I'm not normally very good at puzzles, so your mileage may vary with this one. They really should have a less clunky way to drop things. Okay, so that is... Yes, that is
I can use this.
removable. So, let me think. Okay. That isn't doing anything. I'm sure there's also some notebook I gotta look at. No. Notes. Here we go.
Water maze. Platforms with snakes on it.
Peculiar wall. Oh wait, no, that's it. That's the wall I opened earlier in the stream. Hang on. I may have to move my camera again.
Water maze. Platforms with snakes on it.
Okay, I definitely have to move the camera for this one. It's not really all that helpful, is it? No. Do that, please. Oh, God. I really am so annoyed with Streamlabs sometimes. Can I please just move the camera and not the rest of the video? Thank you. Okay then, back to the projector output, and let's see. Maze mechanism. Oh no, this is one of those. Oh boy. It doesn't seem to give any specific clues about what I'm supposed to do. And where was that other... There we go, the serpent wrench. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so the water goes in that way. I don't know why I thought there would be something there. Oh! Can I get up there and do something? Or... Apparently the answer is maybe? Well, it seems like the snakes, they have the answer, they have the answer as to where the water should go. Like, okay. Seems like you definitely want to get the water into each of the holes there. And maybe filling out the snake too? I'm not sure. But there's not a lot of ways that this water can flow out, and I don't see it. Oh. Right, you have to actually have a server mission for that, duh. Okay, well, there's that. I can at least do this left one, hopefully. And then maybe something else will reveal itself.
Getting there.
Okay, that's 2 out of 4. Nice. And it seems like they have different heights, so I'll be able to platform to the tail there? Yeah. Over there at the tail. I don't know why I can't just use my whip, but whatever. Video games. What do you do? Anyway. Okay, so it seems like some of the snake combos don't reveal themselves until you do other ones. So, I think this could work. Starting to get there. Okay, that feels like the last one that I have to do for this one, and then I can lift that. That's my hope anyway. Let's do it. What is going on? There seems to be some sort of problem. Okay, stuck. Is there some sort of mechanism that I'm not seeing? I still need to get this one solved, so... There has to be something else I need to do. Obviously. Who's worth a shot? Probably not. Maybe I have to solve that by going up? So that wouldn't make much sense. Since, like, if you're already going up anyway, why would you need to come back down if it's possible? This is a head scratcher. I might have to look up the part about why it's stuck. Oh! That would explain it. Okay, so I think I need to get onto that one. And then the other one over there. Huh, I was really overthinking that. I had to look up a little bit. Anyway. Jump onto you. And then you. Oh, come on. I really hate when you have to do flying leaps with the whip sometimes, because the button for actually whipping, the target area for that can be a little bit small, admittedly. Finally, can we please have that? But I did it. What's the problem? Can you don't game? It feels so wrong to be doing this in a fashion flashlight outfit, but you know, that was what you had to do to survive, I suppose. And now we're facing similar prospects in the United States of America, which blows. Why? Okay, you know what? I think I got it. I need to pull myself up and then do the whip yank. But I thought that it was whip yanking, but it must have just let me go. Which is kind of unintuitive. And if something is unintuitive, it messes with my neurodivergence sometimes. No, it doesn't keep me up long enough. There has to be something I'm missing here. That one's not bringing me up nearly enough. I mean, it was worth a try, but still. Come on. I was also overcomplicating this part. Oh, you know what? No? Because I saw the landing platform over there and thought, but no. Apparently not. Oh boy. Alright, here goes nothing. I wonder if there's some sort of delay caused by the heavy processing of the recording. So I think I'm just gonna end it here. But you all have a good one, and in 2 weeks we'll be back with Sunny